out with laughing gas, nitric oxide, because it makes you loopy and enough of it puts you out. And he would sexually assault his patients while they were out, and when they would wake up, they wouldn't remember any fucking. And this was a standard practice for a lot of dentist office. This is why they don't use laughing gas anymore. And another thing about nitric oxide laughing gas is that when they knock you out and you're laughing uncontrollably to the point where you're loopy, your memory is distorted. And that is why you see masks on the fall, because you wouldn't know who was taking turns on top of you while you were being essayed by laughing gas. And I mind you, one of those masks looks like Dr. Phil. That's where the essay started. Who? In that fucking chair. Who? It started as a game, a charade, let's play, and before you know it, those young ladies had a mask on their face, a nasal cannula in their nose, and they were being hit with nitric oxide.
Jesus Christ, traumatized. I ain't never liked the dentist, I ain't gonna lie. Traumatized. I was traumatized by all encounters by doctor offices, physicians, what the fuck ever. All of them. In some type of way. That's utterly fucking insane. Okay, let's do something here. Am I doing the right thing? Yeah. Ooh, what the fuck? I'll sit up here, bent up. Hold up. Wait a minute. Get over here. It's a 1-4-5 people leader. Let me put it in the loop so I can have a little bit more support and control. Jesus. I probably should have put it higher, but I thought it was at the perfect height, right over my head. I see that.
To the point where they were so...
Oh, Jesus. Fried. These people are fucking fried. Put you in here. Put you up here. That one is not on. This one is on. And let me see. Oh. Jesus. How the hell did it go off? I don't think I pushed the button. Push the goddamn button. Push the goddamn button. This shit is crazy and it is sad. It's crazy and sad. Oh, Jesus. They released a few pictures. So, these sick mofos, like I tell you, astral projection is a real thing. Ooh. What's it gonna do with this one? No, what's it? No. Astral projection is a real thing, and I knew the dreams that I was having was not just a dream. It was another actual reality that I experienced. This song is called Take a Bow by Madonna, but what I was hearing was it's all a masquerade or the masquerade is over. Oh, I will see you back. Like a that is over. Masquerade is getting older. Take the down, curtains down. There's no one here. There's no one in the crowd. See your lines, but do you feel them? And and at that time, she's poking her finger. Remember, the very simple things are done. This is a blood ritual. Say your lines, but do you feel them? Do you mean what you say when there's no one around? Watching you, watching me. One lonely star. I don't want lonely star. I don't know who you are. I always been in love with you. I guess you always known the truth. Hello. I'm from the United States. Do I, oh, why the show is over, say goodbye. Say goodbye. Say goodbye. No, I don't. Life is so easy when we get to the part where you're breaking my heart. Hide behind your smile. Although the whole world loves a clown. Uh, Wish you well, I cannot stay. Because I didn't learn it. I learned energy language, meaning I can pretty much understand what anybody is saying and how they feel. It's energetic. It's the first language, actually. So it's the best one to understand no matter what someone is saying. You can understand how they feel. Their intentions are real. You deserve an award for the role that you played. No more masquerade. You're one lonely star. You don't know who you are. I've always been in love with you. I guess you've always known the truth. And took my love for granted. Why, oh, why? The show is over. Say goodbye. I ain't listened to this song in I don't know how long. Say goodbye. Say goodbye. All the world is a stage. And everyone has left my heart. But how was I to know which way the story goes? How was I to ever know you break my heart? Love with you. Like, share, and subscribe, y'all. They've released some of the pictures from the Epstein Island, and it involves a dentist chair. The show is over. Say goodbye. Say goodbye. Say goodbye. That's what I was hearing. Say goodbye. That ass is going bye bye. Whoa. Whoa, whoa, whoa. They are doing too much. Baby, they is doing too much. This is a fucking issue. So, apparently, a lady, and I want to know, and they still have slavery over around these islands around, Jamaica. They still have slavery here in fucking United States. So, this is where a lot of the missing children were going to Epstein Island. Pinocchio. This is, the movies that they made off of these real life things. That's why they say the story is actually more dark and sinister than what they actually show us on the actual movie or show. Y'all have to excuse me because, like I said, dentist office, hated the dentist office. That shit was torture. All the different fucking things that they've done, all the things that I've heard about, all the things that I experienced, don't like them. Nope. And the reason why is we can feel the energy of what's been going on if we didn't experience in another lifetime of what these people have been doing it. They've been doing it. I don't really remember ever having a dream about a dentist chair. But Little Shop of Horrors is definitely close to what has been going on. Not only that, like, I'm getting so many downloads right now, like what Kanye West has been exposing with the nitrous oxide. Like, he know a lot, and he know what the fuck he talking about. There's a reason why they're going after him, but there's a reason why that he was doing what he's doing, because he's showing y'all the truth without saying all the words to say it. Signs and symbolisms, you have to really be able to read in between the lines. As I'm looking at this book with lines on it, there's so much to break down. There's so much to decipher in what is actually going on and what these people actually plan. That's why, bro, I ain't trust nobody with my children. Give a fuck what you talking about. I believe my children 100% over what the fuck you say. I don't give a damn. No, there's no way. I'm leaving my children in a room with a whole bunch of strangers. They're talking about the laughing gas right now and the masks that were on the wall in this dentist staged room in Epstein Island. It's supposed to be St. James. There's a little St. James and there's the big St. James. It's not too far from Cuba. It's not too far from Jamaica. It's in Jamaica, there's a lot of children that come up missing. Here, there's a lot of children that come up missing. So it's like, what the fuck? Oh. And all the masks on the wall, the mask is off. The masks fell off. No more masquerade. He's done, like Trump is supposed to be done doing construction on the ballroom. And then he was just playing Phantom of the Opera. Like, what the fuck? People, I just need y'all to understand how real this is, and it's, I can understand. Oh God, no. I don't want to hear that right now. So, how hard it is to kind of grasp, especially if you haven't experienced these traumatizing things, or you can't feel the energy, you couldn't possibly fathom it being more than a movie like Jigsaw. You have to, in the movie Jigsaw, I'm seeing where, fuck, it was like two, maybe three of the people. Two of the people had made it to another room, and it was like a whole pit full of needles and syringes and shit. And one person threw the other person in there for them to find whatever they needed to get out of that room. It's just like it's like that. It's definitely motherfuckers playing Squid Games, Jigsaw. Like, this shit is real, and it just depends on how knowledgeable you are, what you say, how you say. Like, this shit got to be exposed. This is the last of it. They ain't got no more time, because this is the sick, demented fucking bullshit that they have been doing. We just went over, what is that called? Diabolical suppression, depression. This is that. This is absolutely that. And I'm not saying nobody should be cute and comfortable where they at. You know what I'm saying? I'm not saying that. But just be mindful and be grateful of what the fuck you have. Because in the same time, you can be existing around these same fucking people that do this same diabolical shit. And that's what I'm very much so aware of. And it's not fucking paranoia. It's the awareness of knowing that don't get caught slipping. It's a real thing. And I don't care what nobody say about it. It's just, it let me know if I can't trust my family members to be within their vessel and who they're supposed to be in their higher self. Mm, mm, mm. Look, the last person just left when I said that. If you cannot trust fucking family members, and motherfuckers want to call you crazy and say you paranoid, you tripping, you need to go to crazy. This is the fucking reason why this shit keeps going on. Nobody. That's why I say, get away from your family. Get away from your family, friends, people you think you know. Like, head on the fucking swivel. Don't trust nobody. Get your protection up as much as you can. Like, take notes. I take mental notes all the time. Like, people really fucking play too much. This how I know what I know. Like, OMG, Trump actually fired him. Who the fuck is him? Apparently, don't know. Don't give a fuck. Bro, this is why you wonder why y'all see tarot readers break down crying. You wonder why tarot readers really give the energy of what the hell is going on for those who have the strength to do it. Be thankful. Be thankful. Because this is some, like the old girl said, this shit was Stranger Things was literally another movie depiction, series, whatever the hell you want to call it, based off of actual things that have been done. And I've never watched Stranger Things, but she said island and the girl was being pretty much groomed to be okay to, and she wanted to go home and be with her parents, but then she ended up staying, living in a fake reality. Like, it's a real thing. It's a real delusion of what they have everybody participating in. And people are not weird. They're not strange because they don't want to participate, because they're understanding the principalities and how things are interconnected and how they are, whew, what they are, without people actually being. It's like, me personally, I don't want to have to be, I don't want to have to experience beyond what I've already experienced for me to understand how true this shit is. You know what I mean? It's like the warning before the storm. I don't need no more warning. I understand it, and exposing it is the best that I can do, because I wouldn't want this to happen to somebody else's children. I wouldn't want this to happen to any man or woman. This is a real thing. And when you make fun of their situation, how serious it really is, and how people are just really meant to be like childish, high school, oh, mean girl type shit. And it's fucking ridiculous. You leave somebody else to be susceptible to bullshit. Oh, and we got another juicy video. Hold on. Okay, this lady is going over the same thing, and people are talking about the mask. Okay, so what I'm going to do. Oh, wait. Can I show? Well, I'm going to show it, and then y'all, I'm slow as hell. Like, I'll post a link later on to the video of what we're going to watch. I'm going to screen share it on my other live, what I'm doing right now on YouTube. Let me find the video. And I was like, oh my God, it has to do with the Pentagon. There was another pastor in Ontario, California, just meeting up with minors for sex, a male minor for sex. It's just like, why? Why do they have to be underage? God damn, like, these motherfuckers ain't got no goddamn respect, no fucking boundaries. Where's the Pentagon picture, video? Is it this one? Yeah, FBID. Okay. Okay. And this is not a. Okay, let me get the video together. The video is there. And let me get to the live, right? Let me get to the live. You talking about pissed off? These motherfuckers are sick. Like, I really don't have no respect for these motherfuckers. It should be sharing at this time. It is. I see me. I see it. And let me go back to it so I can play it. Power, truth, deception, plants, music, time. Let's get the sound up on this thing. Hold on. I don't know. See, I didn't watch the video from yesterday. I hope with the screen sharing that y'all can hear it. Hopefully. Because I didn't even watch the video from yesterday. I will assume so if I do it this way. Oh my God, Jesus. Okay, so. So the DEA raids Defense Securities Office. 3,800 arrests, 800 tons of drugs. Oh God, how did I do that? Over here fat fingering stuff. Hello, hi, how are you doing? Hello. Ose, okay, Ose. Ose. Clifford, CIPHER, signal, and it has a ship anchor and a green background with white letters. I don't know what it says. So that is the YouTube channel. Clifford Signal. That's the YouTube channel. This is the video we're about to watch. U.S. military. This is, I said the good CIA, DEA, bad DEA, the light in the dark. There's only two of them. We're going to see what the hell they got to say.
Streets and the drug dealers, Sinaloa, CJNG, MS-13, and more. TDA.
6:12 a.m. Arlington, Virginia. Inside the Pentagon.
Virginia, inside the Pentagon.
A senior advisor in cuffs. 3.8 kilos of cocaine. A hidden steel compartment.
I don't know why I thought the Pentagon was in Los Angeles in California. I don't know why I thought that.
Cartel breach at the heart of U.S. defense. Let me show you.
They sent people into a country that we don't want. They sent their drug dealers and their drug people into our country. They sent.
But yet again, I say, how the fuck is all this shit happening without the help of the goddamn law enforcement? I said this shit. What the fuck do you mean?
Sent people from their mental institutions into, and we're getting them out.
3,800 arrests, over $240 million in fentanyl, meth, cocaine, and military-grade weapons seized, stretching from Virginia to 17 major cities. The largest internal security breach ever uncovered on U.S. soil. But the real shock wasn't the shipments. It was where the badges were found. Not just smugglers, but Pentagon staffers, federal coordinators, and state officials with full clearance access. The very people trusted to defend America were secretly helping undermine it. To understand how deep this infiltration truly runs, hit like now and stay with me, because what comes next is something every American needs to hear. 6:12 a.m., Arlington, Virginia. A routine compliance check inside of Defense's office turned into a national alarm. Behind a simple office printer, investigators found a hidden steel compartment. Inside it were 3.8 kilograms, $1,000 in cash, and a loaded Sig Sauer P320 pistol. This was not evidence from a raid. It was discovered by Michael R. Hanford, a man trusted with military logistics. When agents placed him in handcuffs, Hanford said nothing. No excuses, no reaction. That silence was more frightening than any confession. Hours later, at Quantico, analysts cracked open his encrypted laptop. What they saw pushed the Pentagon into full alert. Secret shipments, corrupt, quiet neighborhoods. What began as a routine check had just exposed the first crack in a much larger breach, one that reached deep inside America's own institutions. If you're starting to see type danger, what comes next gets even darker. By the time the sun rose over Quantico, the truth sitting inside Michael Hanford's laptop was already sending shockwaves through every federal agency. The files were not random notes or scattered emails. They were organized, time-stamped, and coded, showing months, possibly years, of quiet infiltration. And as analysts scrolled deeper, the sense of danger grew heavier. The first folder contained routing logs for 22 covert shipments moving through military channels. They were disguised as routine equipment transfers, slipped into legitimate cargo lists, and approved with Hanford's digital signature. Each shipment made it clear. The cartel had learned how to hide inside the government's own system. The second folder was worse, a spreadsheet of 37 federal and state employees, each one tagged reliable. Some worked in logistics, others in procurement. A few held administrative positions that seemed harmless, until cross-checking showed they had access to shipping databases, federal seals, or warehouse schedules. The third folder exposed the depth of cartel planning. 14 suburban houses spread across Virginia, Maryland, and North Carolina were rented under clean identities. On paper, they belonged to families, retirees, or students. In reality, they were cover homes, housing CJNG members who blended into quiet neighborhoods where no one ever questioned a new face. Back inside the Pentagon, senior officials stared at the early intelligence summary. What they saw was not a single corrupted advisor. It was a structural breach, a network with roots buried inside agencies that were supposed to be unshakable. For the first time in years, federal command centers shifted into a posture normally reserved.
Somebody had to let them in. Somebody had to get them the okay. Somebody had to make them a higher up. Can't just blame it on them. Oh, they applied and they started working it, and they the ones at fault. The fuck?
Reserved for foreign threats. Alerts went out.
You know how paperwork go and denials and how these people be watching. How these people be watching their dollar. Ain't no fucking way in hell these people ain't watching their dollar like that to where this shit ain't been approved by them and they don't. Oh, I don't know about what's going on over there. Type energy.
And out. Units were reassigned. Surveillance teams were activated. No one knew how far the infiltration spread. No one knew who else was compromised. But one truth was already clear. If the cartel could reach the Pentagon once, it could reach anywhere. These files are far larger than anyone realized. Hit like and comment. Keep going. What follows shows how deeply this network has already taken hold.
It's amazing how they just blaming it on the cartel. It's so fucking amazing. Really.
By 5 a.m. the next morning, the United States was no longer dealing with a suspicious employee or a hidden compartment. It was dealing with a network, active and armed, embedded across multiple states. Federal command centers, still digesting the files from Hanford's laptop, issued a single coordinated directive: execute all targets simultaneously. Within minutes, teams moved. Virginia, the first breach. In a quiet suburb outside Arlington, a two-story home sat dark and still. Neighbors believed a young couple lived there, but surveillance teams already knew the truth. Heat signatures showed 5 men inside, awake and moving. At 5:03 a.m., an FBI breaching team advanced through the yard. The door exploded inward. Gunfire erupted instantly from the staircase as cartel guards opened fire with short-barrel rifles. Agents dove behind the kitchen island, returning controlled shots. Glass shattered. Smoke filled the hallway. Within less than a minute, two
Oh, by the way, they just released Colombiana. I love that movie. I really do. I can't believe they released Colombiana before they released Machete. Y'all go watch it. It's on my movie night playlist number 3.
suspects were down, and the others surrendered under floodlights. Inside the pantry, agents found 28 kilograms of meth and stacks of forged military shipping labels. Proof the house was a functioning logistics cell. Houston, steel and gunfire. While Virginia was still clearing, a tactical MRAP charged at a steel warehouse outside Houston. Sparks flew as the armored vehicle crashed through the garage door. Cartel riflemen fired from behind stacked engine blades. Agents responded with precision fire, pushing forward in tight formation. The battle lasted barely 4 minutes, but it was fierce. Flashbangs, ricochets, shouts in Spanish, and the echo of boots hitting catwalks. When it was over, agents counted 118 rifles, 7 machine guns, and 42 kilograms of cocaine lined up in crates disguised as auto parts. California desert, the chase.
I ain't heard them mention not one time fentanyl. Only cocaine? Only guns?
Far across the country, in a remote stretch of California desert, 3 CJNG operatives fled in a black SUV the moment they spotted drones circling above. Dust exploded behind held position, marking
YouTuber name.
their route
that was like Christopher fucking Columbus.
until DHS
This
helicopters
is
roared
bullshit.
overhead, banking low and forcing the SUV to stop. The suspects ran into open desert, but tactical teams moved in fast, taking them into custody without firing a shot. Norfolk, the sealed containers. At the Norfolk port, 6 containers federal SEALs were minutes away from entering a distribution pipeline, but officers intercepted them in time. Inside, chemical precursors, cash bundles, and packaged cocaine meant for East Coast cities. By sunrise, the numbers were staggering. 2.1 tons of narcotics, 221 firearms, and 58 arrests. But victory brought no relief. The evidence recovered from these raids confirmed what investigators already feared. This network was only one branch of something much larger, much deeper, and far from over. If these operations shocked you, type yes. The real danger isn't the raids, it's what they uncovered. By the time the raids ended and the first light settled over the East Coast, federal analysts were already confronting a darker...
AKA, they don't care about what lives they destroy in the midst of this as long as they make it look good. The world is a stage.
Truth. The evidence pulled from Virginia, Houston, California, and Norfolk did not simply confirm a higher shadow system operating beneath the United States' own infrastructure. And that system was far more advanced than any agent expected when this investigation began. The breakthrough came in Boston, inside an unremarkable federal building where intelligence teams had spent the night running cross-checks on documents seized from the raids. At 7:40 a.m., an analyst pushed her chair back and stared at a clustering pattern forming on a screen. 3 distinct corridors of movement: weapons, narcotics, and money, each traveling through no criminal records and no apparent weaknesses. The map kept expanding, node by node, until the pattern looked less like a trafficking route and more like a parallel infrastructure, built carefully beneath the real one. The weapons corridor ran through trucking companies in Texas and Tennessee. These firms had spotless safety histories, clean audits, and regular contracts delivering machine parts to military bases. But invoices recovered from Houston showed identical part numbers being used to mask illegal shipments. Every crate had a twin, a legal shipment paired with a hidden one, a perfect mirror. The drug corridor stretched along the East Coast, using suburban warehouses, mom-and-pop shipping companies, and even a veterinary supply distributor to move meth and cocaine disguised as medical chemicals. In Norfolk, investigators traced forged federal SEALs back to a retired procurement specialist living quietly in Delaware, whose signature had been copied and reused on dozens of shipments he never touched. The financial corridor was the most dangerous. It ran through nail salons, small grocery stores, auto repair shops, and even federal procurement channels. Each business generated cash flow that looked normal until analysts layered the data with overseas
Especially
wire
the ones
activity.
still fighting to take
Suddenly,
over the business.
dormant connections to Mexico, Guatemala, and Colombia lit up across the map. As agents absorbed the full scope of the network, panic began to set in across federal offices. This was not cartel activity sneaking across the border. This was cartel activity hiding in plain sight inside American communities, using the same systems people trusted every day. And it had been operating undetected for years. In Maryland, a logistics clerk attempted to flee when he saw investigators approaching. When cornered in the parking garage, he drew a pistol before being tackled by agents. In Santa, 2 communications officers locked themselves inside the restricted data room and smashed multiple hard drives before tactical teams forced entry. Evidence recovered later showed they had received payments routed through one of the quiet grocery stores flagged in the financial corridor. Across the country, federal leadership realized something devastating. CJNG had not infiltrated a single office. They had infiltrated 9 federal agencies and dozens of state offices simultaneously. The question was no longer how the breach began. The question was how far it still reached. As the scale of the infiltration became impossible to deny, the federal government entered a condition rarely seen outside wartime. Senior officials moved between secure rooms in silence, carrying folders they would normally view only during foreign threats. But this time, the threat was not foreign. It was inside the building, hiding behind ID badges and clearance levels. Before noon, the investigation's ripple effects began tearing through federal offices across the country. The first cracks appeared quietly. An employee failing to report to work, a supervisor noticing a suddenly wiped workstation, a procurement officer shredding outdated documents that were not scheduled for disposal. At first glance, these incidents looked like panic, but the pattern made something clear. The corrupted employees knew closing in. In a field office outside Charlotte, agents arrived to question a mid-level coordinator linked to a suspicious shipment. But when they reached his cubicle, they found the chair overturned, his badge clipped to the desk, and his workstation wiped his backpack, abandoning his car in the parking lot and escaping through a wooded trail that was later found near a highway underpass, filled with burner phones and $9,800 in cash. In Denver, 2 federal contractors attempted something far bolder. When they spotted investigators entering the building, they removed restricted access key cards from a storage room and tried to force entry into a server closet. Their goal was obvious: delete routing logs tied to the financial corridor. But the moment they swiped the stolen badges, the system triggered a silent alarm. Tactical agents intercepted them before the door could open. Later review showed both contractors had unexplained deposits stretching back 8 months. And then came the most alarming incident. In a secure facility outside Tampa, a senior communications technician barricaded himself inside a terminal room after learning he was scheduled for an interview. He severed fiber lines, smashed 2 encrypted devices, and attempted to download a classified route onto a personal drive. As agents approached the door, he screamed that they didn't understand the scale and that others were already cleaning up loose ends. The standoff lasted nearly 12 minutes before the door was breached and agents restrained him. His fingerprints were later recovered from packaging linked to the Norfolk containers. Across the country, these confrontations revealed the same chilling truth. The cartel's influence had reached deeper than anyone thought, and it was fighting to stay hidden. By early evening, federal leadership convened an emergency call with directors from 9 affected agencies. Each department reported similar patterns: missing employees, shredded documents, wiped systems, unexplained resignations, sudden medical leave requests, and attempted data breaches. It no longer looked like isolated corruption. It looked like an internal collapse happening in real time. The problem was not just about drugs or weapons anymore. It was about trust and how quickly it could evaporate once an enemy lived inside the very institutions meant to guard the nation. And as the day closed, one warning echoed through every command center. If this network fought this hard to hide itself, what else is it hiding? If this collapse inside federal agencies concerns you, type expose. The final chapter where America came to losing control. By the end of the week, the United States government faced a reality it had not confronted in generations. An enemy that had embedded itself not at the border, but inside the system, feeding on blind trust and routine procedure. The raids had exposed only the first layer. Beneath that layer, investigators now saw the outlines of something larger, a structure built to last, designed to survive even if operatives fell. At 9:15 a.m. on Friday, HS, DOJ, DOD, ICE, ATF, and multiple state agencies gathered inside a secure conference room in Washington. Screens lit the walls with maps, timelines, and red markers stretching. The combined picture was the same in every region. CJNG had not infiltrated agencies at random. They had mapped the government like a blueprint and moved into the cracks. In response, the Secretary of Homeland Security announced the creation of the Federal Integrity Restoration Task Force, FIRTF, a national unit.
And you know how they did that if they did it? If they had an inkling to even do so. And why would they be able to do that? Because the attack been on the indigenous people. They wanted them to replace us, and they used them as I want to say like a default. They will become the fall guy for the man in the midst of the man's felt obligations to suppress and oppress. Multiple nations.
Unit with authority far beyond a typical audit team. Its mission was direct and uncompromising. Identify every compromised channel. Reverse every cartel footprint. Rebuild. The first phase began immediately. Teams fanned out across 9 federal agencies, pulling records from procurement offices, communications hubs, clearance departments, shipping control rooms, and regional warehouses. They uncovered forged identities hidden inside HR systems, unauthorized badge replicas, procurement requests tied to shell companies, and encrypted messaging portals disguised as routine software updates. Every new discovery widened the scale of the operation. Meanwhile, field teams launched a second wave of actions across multiple states. In New Jersey, agents seized a storage unit filled with unused federal uniforms and counterfeit ID cards. In Phoenix, they uncovered a data router that had been quietly forwarding shipment manifests to servers in Mexico City. In Seattle, investigators raided a home rented under the name of a long-deceased veteran. Inside were laptops connected to procurement databases and heat maps matching cartel distribution routes. Each discovery reinforced the same chilling truth. The infiltration was not improvised, it was engineered. Back in Washington, analysts layered new findings into a consolidated map. When the final markers lit up, a hush fell over the room. The network stretched through dozens of state offices, 9 federal agencies, and hundreds of private sector partners unknowingly connected to cartel operations. It was a web, and America had been walking across it without realizing it was there. For the first time, federal leadership understood the full weight of the threat. The cartel had not attempted to overpower the United States from the outside. It had tried to grow quietly underneath the institutions that defend it, using stolen trust as its most powerful weapon, one that still had blank spaces yet to be filled. One question rose above every other. If this is only one network, how many more are already woven into the nation's backbone, waiting for the moment to surface? What unfolded across Virginia, Texas, California, Norfolk, and 9 federal agencies was not just another federal operation. It was a wake-up call, a reminder that the most dangerous threats to a nation do not always come from distant borders. They can grow quietly inside the very institutions meant to defend it. The hidden compartments, forged labels, corrupted employees, and houses disguised as normal, something far deeper than drug trafficking. They revealed a system vulnerable to infiltration, weakened not by force, but by trust, misplaced in the wrong hands. CJNG did not break the door down. They walked through it, unnoticed, for years. Yet within this alarming discovery lies the strength of the country. When agents breach doors before...
They ain't not know. They been known about this. Hell, they created the fucking system for it to exist. They knew what the hell was going on. They just always looking for somebody to blame for the shit that they create. Don't never take accountability. Honestly. Fucking crazy. Crazy ass shit. This is definitely retarded.
Or dawn, when gunfire erupted in suburban living rooms and steel warehouses. When investigators pieced together shredded files and shattered servers, America responded with speed and unity. Agencies that rarely share a room stood shoulder to shoulder. Thousands of men and women put themselves between the public and a hidden enemy. This story is not only about infiltration, it is about resilience, about facing uncomfortable truths and choosing to act before the next breach grows even deeper. Protecting a nation is not a one-time mission. It is a constant responsibility. If you believe these investigations matter, if you believe Americans deserve to know what is happening beneath the surface, then like, comment, and subscribe so this story reaches more people. Your voice keeps the spotlight alive. Your engagement ensures these
reassures the colonization and the genocide continues. I'm so fucking done. Done with the shit. So, let us go over the astrological placements. What the hell is going on? Here that we now are in December. It doesn't say the moon is in Gemini. Why doesn't it say the moon is in Gemini? No. This is the sun is in Sagittarius. Oh, okay. Now it does say the moon is in Gemini. First it was showing maybe it was for that day. Mercury is in Scorpio. Ooh, reflecting on deep emotions. Sounds concurrent and definitely moving into Sagittarius later today. Yes, today is the 5th. So, Venus is in Sagittarius. I seen Venus, the sun, and what else was that? There was Venus, sun, and Lilith, the mother of dark creation, or something rather like that. The Lilith Oracle deck. Mars in Sagittarius, Jupiter in Cancer in retrograde, Saturn in Pisces, Uranus is in Taurus. Genius in retrograde. What have you been creating? Taurus in wealth and beauty. Neptune is in Pisces, mirroring itself in reflection. In the higher realms. In the higher realms of consciousness, in your subconsciousness, Pluto is in Aquarius. Sun, Sagittarius, 13 degrees to 52 is direct. Moon in Gemini is direct. Mercury in Scorpio is direct. Venus, Sagittarius is direct. Mars in Sagittarius is direct. And Jupiter in Cancer is retrograde. Saturn, time, Pisces, is direct, and Uranus in Taurus is retrograde. So retrograde is in love, expansion, home, the mother, and beauty. Uranus stroke is genius and luck. Your spiritual piggy bank. Ultimately, that's what it is. Annie, are you okay? Are you okay? Are you okay, Annie? Okay. You've been hit by, been struck by a smooth criminal. So I've been waiting to show y'all this cool little anxious person thing right here. Anxious. Very, very anxious. Inside out. Anxious. Oh no. Anxiety keeps trying me. Anxiety. Oh, he's anxiety. Anxiety keeps on trying me. Anxiety keeps on driving me. Anxiety. Let's see. Jamestown Island and the buffoonery. Y'all could have let me know if y'all heard me or not, or heard what the heck they was talking about for real. But it's okay. I'll figure it out later one day or not. Oh! I swear there was one more video I wanted to go over. We're right at an hour. Okay. Da, 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 da. Baby. Was it in that video is why I'm thinking it probably was in that video. It was some juicy details in I Am Q Hefe. When did that video come out? I think it came out yesterday. Or the day before. Yeah, it had to come out yesterday. Or it was the day before. Something like that. Okay, don't know what happened, but we're back. So there is astrological placements. I'll be back later on today to do a reading and reflecting on some more. I'm definitely still working on. I'm gonna wait till it's really, 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 really dark. Like got it pretty much dark in here, but I want y'all to see it as best as y'all can. So I'm gonna wait till it gets really dark, and then I'm gonna do the little non-experiment because it is what it is. But clashing the 2 bottles of water and ice to see what happens and see what y'all can see and what y'all conclusion, what y'all theory is, and what y'all think how water and ice are used. So we will be back later on. Thank you guys for sharing, subscribing. Thank you guys for tapping in, tuning in. Thank you guys for your love and support. Hype the channel up. Please, thank you. I think this little thing is so cool. And you guys be great. Never give up. Do your self-reflection, self-healing. Do your grounding. Do your releasing what you don't need. Letting shit go so new can come in. New energy, new vibes, new tribe, new high vibe. Manifest it. You gotta get rid of old shit for new shit to come in. Don't forget that. Don't be deceived by what they're trying to make you feel comfortable with, what they're releasing. This shit been going on for a long ass time. They known it in Hollywood and whatever the hell else they're using. So y'all be great. Don't give up. Don't be fooled. Don't be misled. Do your research. First and foremost, don't take my word for shit. You don't got to. You don't have to. Even though I am an honest and open and honest person, always do your research. You can learn better than me. You can learn more than me. You could teach me something. I understand what don't need to be said. I'm just saying. It's all honest to God true. So don't give up on yourself. Be great. And you are loved. To be loved, to be loved. Oh, what a feeling. to be loved. Yeah, be great. Oh, forever and always. Later. Oh. I didn't go over enough, or I went over a little bit too far. Dang.